Today we will discuss on the chapter Arithmetic Progression or Arithmetic Series. In short, we call it AP. A for Arithmetic, P for Progression. Now before we understand this particular chapter, Arithmetic Progression or Arithmetic Series, we got to understand certain terms which will help us to understand these terminologies better. First term is, say, sequence. Now what is a sequence? A sequence is numbers arranged in some order. Say A, B, C, D, these are numbers, we have arranged it in particular order. So they are called a sequence. Say if I write it like this, A1, A2, A3. What does these A1, A2, A3 indicates? A1 indicates the first term, A2 indicates the second term, A3 indicates the third term, and like this if we go up to nth term, this indicates the nth term of this particular sequence. So this is a sequence which has got A1, A2, A3. These are all numbers arranged in an order. These numbers are called elements. We'll call these numbers as elements. So this particular sequence has got n number of terms, and whenever a sequence has got n number of terms in it, then that sequence becomes a series. So we came to know the word series. So what is series? A series is a sequence which has got n number of terms in it. Now this sequence or series are of two types. They are finite series or infinite series. Now what is a finite series? A finite series is a series in which the elements, we know what are elements now, these are elements. The elements will be countable. That means we know the elements. Say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there are 5 elements in this particular series. So this is a finite series. What is an infinite series? Infinite series is say 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, dot dot. Dot dot indicates that we don't know the end of it. So this becomes an infinite series. Now, so we have learned what is sequence, what is series. Now we get into the word progression. Progression. This is nothing but this particular word, progression. What is progression? A progression is a sequence or a series having n number of terms in it. Any series having or any sequence having n number of terms in it is called a progression. These progressions are of three types. They are AP, arithmetic progression, GP, geometric progression, and HP, harmonic progression. So three types of progressions are there. And these progressions, our chapter of the day is arithmetic progressions, and which we are discussing. So we know now what is an arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is nothing but a sequence or a series or a progression which has got certain number of elements in it. And if that sequence has got finite number of elements, then it is called a finite series or a finite progression. And which has got infinite number of uncountable number of elements, then they are called infinite series or an infinite progression. Okay. Now we will understand what is an AP. An AP series is that particular series. An AP series is that particular series where the successive terms, what is successive? See, A1 is the first term, A2 is the second term, A3 is the third term. So for A1, the successive is this, for A2, the successive is this, third one. So the successive terms will differ by a common difference. Means, say if I take a number 5, then if I take a number 11, then if I take a number 7, then if I take a number 23. So this becomes a sequence. What type of sequence? A finite sequence. In this particular, this is my first term which we denoted by A1, and this is my second term which we denoted by A2. Someone also prefers writing this one as T1, writing this one as T2, where T1 indicates term 1, T2 indicates term 2. So you can use the letter A or T as you prefer. Where A1 and A2 are the two successive terms. Similarly, this becomes the third term. Let us note the difference of this successive terms, that is A2 minus A1. See, A2 minus A1 will be 11 minus 5, that is 6. And if I go for A3 minus A2, the successive terms, that will be 17 minus 11, that is 6. See, the difference becomes same. Any particular series where this common difference, this is called common difference, we call it as CD, common difference. When this common difference becomes same, then that particular series is called an AP series. So what is an AP series? An AP series is a series where the successive terms will differ by a common difference. So if I have been given any particular series, A1, A2, A3, A4 and so on, if a series is given like that, and if it is asked to me, is it an AP series? How should I check it? What we will do, we'll find out A2 minus A1, we'll find out the common difference. We'll find out A3 minus A2, we'll find out the common difference. And if this two common difference is same, we'll say it is an AP series. We'll check out a sum with this. Now, we'll check out few sums that will make us understand this particular topic. First question. To determine whether the following are in AP or not. Say we are taking a question 3 minus 5 minus 13 and so on. So we know this is my first term, this is my second term, this is my third term. So our answer will be, we have A1 is equal to 3, A2 is equal to minus 5, A3 is equal to minus 13. So we'll calculate A2 minus A1. So minus 5 minus 3 minus 8. A3 minus A2, that is minus 13 minus 5. This is my third term, this is my second term. So this will become minus 13 plus 5, that is minus 8. So I got both these terms same. Therefore, A2 minus A1 is equal to A3 minus A2. Hence, this series is in AP. Okay? This is how is the sums. Whenever a questions will come of this pattern, to determine whether the following terms are in AP or not, we'll find out in this particular method. Now we'll discuss the second type of question. In the second type of question, say an AP series is given 0, 1/4, half, 3/4, this. The question asked is, find out the first term and the common difference. First term. So we know this is my A1, this is A2, this is A3 and this is A4. So naturally this is my first term. So the first term, which we universally denoted as A. So first term A is equal to 0. Next is find out the common difference. Common difference we denoted by the letter D. How do you calculate common difference? Common difference is the difference between the two successive terms. That means say A2 minus A1. We can do A3 minus A2 also. We can do A4 minus this also. It's our choice. So A2, my A2 is 1/4. So 1/4 minus 0. So 1/4. So we got the common difference. So my first term is 0 and my common difference is 1/4. So the series is -2, 3, 8 and so on. Now, whether this is an AP series or it is not an AP series, that we'll find out. To find out this, we know we already have done the techniques. We know the difference between the second term or the first term, that is T2 minus T1, that is what you can do. Same thing. So my T2 is 3. So 3 minus -2. So this will be 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. I will find out A3 minus A2, that is nothing but my T3 minus T2. See, you need not write both. I am showing you because I don't know in whichever method later you will be familiar with. So I have written both. You will write any one of them, either with in terms of A or in terms of T. So T3 minus T2. T3 is my 8. So 8 minus 3, that is 5. See, I am getting the common difference same. So since the common difference is in same, so we can say therefore the series is in AP. Therefore the series is in AP as common difference is same. Now if I ask you, what is the common difference? This is the common difference. So common difference is 5. So this is the initial part of it. From the definition of the term, what is an AP series? This type of 3 varieties of sums that you get. Now we'll get into the general term of an AP series. How to find out the general term of an AP series? That means if a series is given to us, then if I have to find out any number of terms, say I know first term, second term, third term, and if it is asked to me what will be the 30th term, I'll be able to find out. Is it not magic? We'll find out those magical trick in the next. Now, to find the nth term of an AP, first and foremost, I must tell you the difference between nth and n terms. Nth term and n terms. What's the difference? Nth means specifically 5th term, 50th term, 500th term. A specific term we are talking about. And n terms means 50 terms, 100 terms, 1000 terms. That is what sum total of all. That is what you are talking about, n terms. The difference between nth and n terms. Our topic is to find out the nth term of an AP. To find out the nth term of an AP, that is what we'll find out. In order to find out the nth term of an AP, the formula is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. You got to remember this formula, and all sums, I mean all sums will be done using this formula only, where Tn is the nth term, this is my nth term, A is the first term, n is the number of terms, and D is the common difference. So if I know A, N, D, I'll be able to find out the nth term of any particular series. There are varieties of questions which we'll be discussing based on this particular formula to find out the nth term of an AP.